Alright gamers, what's up? It's your boy Impure Eagle 36 back at it again with another it's not Minecraft today. Today we're doing something a little bit different. We're coding in Python because it's fun. And so alright, let me tell you the background for this video. So the other day, my friend we were playing Build Battle and he was just grinding the game and he was like, "Oh, if only there was a way to cheat in this," right? So I was like, "Oh, I know how to code." And then so he was like, "Okay, so basically what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to take a list of every single word that's possible in build battle and I'm going to find the list. Oh, this is guess the build, by the way, not build battle, guess the build. And I'm going to print them all out and I'm going to sort them when it tells you how many spaces or characters there are in the word. So when you play build battle, it tells you how many characters there are in the word, and it also tells you one of the letters or a couple of the letters. And basically what he was going to do is he was going to do it manually and get a list of all of the possible words that you could build or guess, and uh, physically sort them through like a Google Doc or whatever and then print them all out. And I'm like, "Bro, that's way too hard. I can just code this for you." So what he did was like he searched up a list of every single possible build battle item and he gave it to me, and basically what we did was we pasted these quotation mark things in between each word so that Python could read it in as a list. And so what we did then was I had to paste in the entire thing and then start the code. So basically it's really simple code. All we need to do is sort okay, I'm not a coding expert, by the way. I learned this like over the summer. And basically all we need to do is ask a few questions and take the answers from the questions and put it into a little typey type. So what we're going to do first is we are going to ask a question. So we're going to have we're just going to ask the length of the word first. Right? So that's going to be our first question, right? Following that, we're going to sort through each individual thing. So we're just going to have a for loop where it sorts through each term in all terms, which is the name of this ginormous list, all terms, as you can see in the top left. And in that, we are going to have an if statement where it sorts through the length of the term, and it's going to ask if it's equal to the integer value of the word length, which is our variable up here. Then we're going to do, we're going to have a few lists actually. We're going to do, so we actually did, we actually have to put a few empty lists that we're gonna eventually go back to. So basically 4 methods of sorting this list until we get the very few that we want, or few words. So after this, we're gonna refer to the length sort words list, and we're gonna append the term. And then after that, we're just gonna print that so it makes a new line, and then print the length sort word thing. So basically it's gonna ask you, haha, my bad, I didn't put it equals. It's gonna ask you what's the length of the word, and you'll type in a number, I don't know, 15, and I spelled something wrong. 15, and it'll give you every word that has 15 letters. Notice how I didn't put a space, and that was just because so it would make it easier. So telephone booth, for example, doesn't have a space there. Right, so that's the first part, and then from there it's pretty simple, and we just need to ask a few more questions and basically using the same method. So what we're gonna ask now, what's the hint letter? Because it gives you a hint letter, right? So we're gonna ask hint letter. And we're gonna have that equal to the input of first we're gonna make a new line just so it looks nicer, I guess. I don't know. And then we're gonna ask what is the hint letter. Oh my god, if I can type. Alright. And simple enough. And then same idea for each word in length sort words. So now we're sorting the previous list even more. So for each word in length sort words, we're gonna have another if statement. If the hint letter, which is just one letter, it would be in a string. So if the hint letter in word dot lower, so if the hint letter in word, and we're actually going to do a word dot lower, which will make it so, which will make it so that the word is lowercase. All the letters are lowercase, because if we just have it like this and we try to sort it, if we input a lowercase, I don't know, t for example, and it tries to find all the words that have a t, if it has a capital T, it won't work. It'll only look for ones that have a lowercase t. So we need to make the word lowercase. And then so after that, same thing. We're just gonna name this final terms. I don't know. Even though we're gonna have more stuff after. And we're gonna append the word. Really simple. And we don't need to print anything because right afterwards it tells you how many spaces are there before the letter, right? So when you see it on Hypixel, it'll show you physically where it is in the word. So we're gonna have another thing called spaces before letters, and that's gonna be not input of how many spaces before the letter. And same idea. So for more words, I don't know, in final terms, same idea. We're just sorting the previous list so it sorts that even more. For each of those in final terms, we're gonna have an if statement. If the hint letter is equal to more words, which is each word in the final terms, right? Which is the list of the sorted words that have the hint letter. So, for example, up here, let's say I only want ones that have an L in it. It'll get rid of all of the ones that don't have an L in it. And then it's going to take that list again, and if the hint letter is a certain distance away from the beginning, it's going to add that word to the next list, which is actual final terms. So this bit's a bit hard. We're going to have an index, and that index is going to be the integer value of spaces before letters. And we're going to have to make that an integer value, because if it's not an integer value, it won't register, because when you ask a question using input, it returns as a string. So we don't want a string, we want, and again, we want, just to make sure that we're doing it right, we're going to have a dot lower. And yeah, so, and then we're just going to append it to the next list. And then we're just going to have the same idea. We can just copy paste this. except here, we're just gonna do actual final terms, because we want that. And now let's run it. So we see what's the length of the word. So I've been practicing this before, obviously. I'm not writing this off the top of my head. And I've just been using the word lighthouse as my test. So we're gonna do length of the word 10, and it'll tell you all the words 10, because it takes a little bit of time for the hint letter to pop up. It'll show the number, it'll tell you the number of letters, but it won't always give you the hint letter. So that's why I made it print first. So like the word 10, hint letter will make it L, and space before the letter. Since L is the first letter in lighthouse, there's no spaces before the letter, and so we're going to put 0, and we get an error, which is wonderful, because more word should be more words. Ha, love coding. 10, L, 0, and now it gives you even fewer words, which is awesome. So this is our final second to last list, which is actual final terms. And then sometimes, like for longer words, it'll give you a few extra letters. So we're just gonna ask another letter is the input, and we're just gonna ask a question. What's the second letter? And then another for loop. For each of the final word in actual final terms, what I'm gonna do, if another letter, which is our string value, is, if it's in the final word, just gonna make sure these are right. We're gonna just append it to the next thing. And we're just gonna print it out again. Now let's make a new line and 2-letter terms. So now we're basically done. So all we need to do is just run it. We'll select the word. We'll go 5. It'll give you every single 5 word, because usually it doesn't. You gotta wait a bit of time. So let's just find some of the words. Let's try to match them up with what the person's building, and see if I can find it. No, I can't find it. It'll give you the hint letter now. K. And how many spaces? 2. Baker. Now that's the only one. See? Now, in this case, we wouldn't need another letter because we only have one answer. But in some cases where, I don't know, length of the word 6, E, and 4. Now we have a bunch of other letters, right? And we're not going to be able to type each of these in chat just looking at it. And when you look at it, it's a little bit like, it kind of hurts your head, right? So what we want to do is sort it even more. Like, I didn't even know this was possible. And we can basically just type in the next letter. So it'll give you another letter. Let's say the next letter is, I don't know, T. And it'll sort it even more. Now, I'm going to post this link in the description for, not the link, but I'm going to post a downloadable file in the description of the code itself. You guys can tinker it, whatever, add more letters, do whatever. This was a fun project. It took me about, I don't know, in total for the coding, maybe an hour, because I'm pretty bad at it. But doing this list, oh my god, this was torture. Having to add each individual quotation mark, that was just terrible. So yeah, use this wisely, only if you want to have fun, tinker it. Obviously, I've used it, it works, you can win, but I'm not going to use all the time, and that's just annoying, you know? It's not fun that way. Hope you guys like this video. This was a different video. If you like this, even though I have no viewers, if you like this, tell me in the description, and I will make some more. Maybe give me ideas. I don't know. I can try my best. Remember, use this responsibly, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh yeah, Happy New Year.